Holy Jesus Christ. So windy outside. That stupid door doesn't seal. So cold in here. Anyway, short story long. I was working on the truck again, and I needed space to work on it. So I shoveled in front of the garage, giant section, but I guess because of all the ice and everything, it basically made a ramp that goes directly to this corner, and then as it started melting, because it's been nicer during the day and then absolutely freezing at night, the snow was starting to melt, and it flooded. And I spent hours sucking it all out with the shop vac, and like, I got most of it, but I don't know, I was sick of it, so I just gave up. But right now, I'm just trying to decide which video I'm going to record first, finishing the fuse box or doing the control arm. So whichever video you're watching is the one that I decided to do first. I also got the new hardware kit for the skid plate, but that can't go back on yet because I still have to change the entire like rad support. So that'll be a later problem. Removing this is actually like really simple because there's actually only one screw that holds it, and it's a captive nut that goes right in there. So we need a T40 and a ratchet. That's the wrong way. Like, this is the great part about living in Canada. These tools are rusting in my toolbox because the air has so much moisture in it. I mean, like, the wet floor also doesn't help, but like, Jesus Christ. So the first thing you want to do is disconnect your battery. I've mentioned it in other videos, but when you're disconnecting the battery, you want to disconnect the negative first. Because when the ratchet is attached to this, if it contacts any other metal, it's a ground onto a ground. Connected to the positive, then it's positive to a ground, which can arc. So you want to disconnect the negative first, then disconnect the positive. And when you're reattaching it, the reverse direction. Positive first, so that way the battery isn't grounded when you're using a ratchet or a wrench or whatever. And then you do the ground after to complete the connection. So if we just like loosen these up, and then this one, and then like take that 13 out down here for the little bracket that holds the battery, and then like lift the battery out and then put it over there, like, you know, and then it's done. The battery's out. I mean, you don't really have to take the battery out. So now we need a T40 in here. Just crack that loose. It's all disconnected on the bottom. You can see like the entire main harness piece where it connects. Now we just have to disconnect all of these on the front. Of course that's missing. Why would that be there? That one's missing too. What the hell? Where are they? Where are both of my 8 mils? And my 10's missing, of course. Both 8s and both 10s. Let's use a 10 mil. And we can start taking these ones off. I guess in hindsight it would have been smarter to leave this attached to kind of hold it in place a little bit better, but it's too late for that. Why make it easier when we can struggle? Okay, so now this is a captive nut, so it just stays with the wire. We'll do these two 10 mils down here. That one's off. Now let's do this last one over here. This black one here goes on the far left. This little red one goes beside it. Then there's a little red one with a white stripe. That's an 8 mil beside that, and then a space, and then an 8 mil with a red wire, and then up here on the left top one is the red wire that goes to the battery. Now we can switch over to the 8 mil, crack these loose, and now the last one right here. Now we can just pull the whole fuse box out. And nothing is actually melted in here, so that's good. But it did melt up here. Right in there, you can see where it melted, and that's for the headlights. And because of it being melted, it was drawing more power, and it kept blowing fuses. I'm going to take it apart further and pull these out just to see what it looks like underneath. Maybe it's a little bit worse internally, but for the most part, this actually looks pretty good. And it kind of sucks that such a minor inconvenience is what causes half of the vehicle to lose all electronics. And it also sucks that I live so far away from an Audi dealership that I can't get this done for free under warranty. So let's just move this one over for now. We'll take a look at the old one. Let's pull this apart to see what's going on in here. So we can use a T10, and let's just pop these out. Pop that off. Take the mounting screw out. Okay, I believe that was all of the screws. One up here, here, the two in the middle, and then these two right here. So now let's just pull all the fuses. Take a picture before you do this, so at least you know where everything is supposed to go. Otherwise, you're gonna have to be digging through the manual to figure out the fuse location for the engine side fuse box. Anyway, this should be ready to come out now. Just gotta kind of pry it up off of all of these pins. So try to do it straight, so that way you don't bend any of them. I mean, in this case, it doesn't really matter. We're replacing the box anyway. You know, it's always just good practice to not destroy things when you take them apart. Ow. Alright. Pull this off. Man, that melted one really doesn't want to come out. That's definitely a huge portion of the issue with this. Yeah, all of the contacts look relatively good, except for that one that's seized in there. Let's see if we can retrieve it. Reveal your secrets. Oh, I got it. Wow. One of those is stuck in there. There's like something like brown on it. So possibly something leaked in this. Maybe that's what the fault is. Because that entire contact is supposed to come out, and it did not. There we go. Now that is a lot of corrosion, and that's what ends up causing too much draw on that fuse, which overloads it, and that's basically what melts the fuse box and makes it even worse. So whatever the corrosion issue is right here that causes this, like from the start, that's the issue that needs to be fixed. But as far as I know, and like working for Volkswagen and everything, I haven't heard of a fix yet. They just replace it. And that's the fix for this. But whatever is causing this issue is still present. There's also going to be all the pins on the bottom, but nothing was melted on the bottom, so there's no issues down there. So you can actually just push this back in. And usually where it's going to start melting is right down here, like at 16. That's usually the problem area. Actually, wait. Oh, that is this fuse. So it's that one fuse, 16, that's what causes issues. Now these are rusty. None of that rust really continues. It doesn't really go up much further. I don't know, maybe some excess load going in here because of the corrosion. I'm really curious if I can clean this. Like if I can clean the corrosion off, I kind of want to put this back in just to see if it's good, like solely just for like the education. But like at the same time, not my car anymore. I can't just screw around and change things, then put things back and all this other stuff, so I'm just gonna do the job at hand, but right now I'm having fun. That's what's happening. Basically, at this point, all I have to do is just take the new fuse box, put all the fuses back in where they're supposed to go, because the new one doesn't come with fuses, and it's just like the reverse procedure, so I'll just show you how to put it back in, and we'll clean up the backs of the wires that are gonna connect to this on the new one. Of course. Why did I think that would reach? Yeah, just lay that in all the water, that's safe. I mean, if I die, I won't have to do it anymore. It's a win-win. That one's already pretty clean, but gonna kind of get the loose stuff off. Make sure we got a nice good contact. And just do that to all of them. Let's just clean up in here. So we have a good contact when I go pick up a new battery. Because in the end of the video when I was changing the starter, the brand new battery froze. But luckily it has warranty, so I can just bring it back and get a new one. And we are ready for the new fuse box. All of the correct fuses are in place, so now we can get this in here. Now let's get these contacts on. Alright, grab this guy. Can go up on the left side post at the top. And then these 8mm ones. That's good. Make sure the wires go in the holders. Right in there. Now let's tighten this T40. Ow, right on the corner. Oh my god. Now I just gotta put the cover on. This is the new one. Much better. I can hear squirt. Lock it in place. Here we go. Brand new fuse box. Done. If there's anything to add before putting this cover on, maybe get some silicone spray, just to spray over top of that, like something non-conductive, and just to kind of protect it from any kind of corrosion. Just because there was a fair amount on the old one that's over there. That'll at least help in the future. But it's relatively simple, and given my location, it was cheaper to do this than it was to drive to the dealer and have it replaced for free. I don't know. I wish it wasn't so friggin' cold, because this would have been a lot more enjoyable, but I'm absolutely frozen, so I'm going inside. And I still have to edit this video, so that's gonna suck. So, I don't know. Hopefully you got something out of this. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't, or don't do any of it. I'm not telling you what to do.